Hello everyone and welcome to Imperator Rome Development Diary number 7 for the 9th of July 2018. This one's a good one, actually. I'm actually really happy about just about everything here. It is more or less what you would expect, considering that previous dev diaries have pretty much outlined that this game is going to be the same thing as EU Rome, but with more countries and, updated a little bit here and there. But yeah, let's hop into it and we can talk about it a little bit. Hello everyone and welcome to the 7th Development Diary for Imperator. This time we'll take a look at characters. Characters in Imperator are deeply detailed, and together with pops and politics are part of what makes a vibrant living world. They have portraits that age gradually, with lots of different ethnicities covering the world. There are 4 attributes that characters have. Martial, which represents a character's ability to fight and lead troops. Characters with high martial skill make excellent generals. Charisma is a character's ability to charm and persuade others. Zeal is a character's ability to inspire faith in other characters and also calling upon the favors of the gods. Finesse represents a character's skill in disciplines requiring high attention to detail. High finesse characters make excellent researchers and governors. Those of you that have played the original Rome and Crusader Kings series will not be surprised to hear that our characters have traits. Traits on a character can be gained or lost. Traits can fit into the following categories. Personality. This includes being brave, cowardly, cruel, merciful. These impact the character's attributes and stats directly as well. Military. Characters usually have a maximum of one of those that may give a bonus or penalty. Health, stressed, maimed, lunatic, etc. Usually not beneficial to the character. Status, some exceptional traits that can be given from actors like Conqueror. Traits can also unlock a variety of unique event options, each tailored to the specific event trait in question. A character also has his or her personal wealth and 4 primary stats. Popularity. Popularity is a measure of how people see this character. In republics, high popularity characters are more likely to be elected leader of the republic. However, even monarchies cannot ignore popular people. Loyalty is a measure of the character's loyalty to the state. Disloyal characters are more likely to cause problems to a ruler than loyal ones. However, even the most loyal characters have their limits. Prominence represents the fame of a character. Jobs and titles help bring a character to public attention. And corruption is a measurement of the character's willingness to engage in underhanded practices. Greed, bribery, the bending of rules come hand in hand with high corruption. Characters have parents, will be able to marry and get children, just as you would expect. They can also have friends and rivals. Characters can be given various roles besides being ruler of a country. They can be assigned to govern a province, command an army, handle research, or be given a role in government. Some countries allow women to be given offices and some do not. There are lots of other interactions you can do with your characters, including arranging marriages, bribing them, loaning them, or even sacrificing them if your religions permit and desire. There will be a deep development diary on those later on in development. We also get a nice little picture here showing a character and all that, and then also Johan on Twitter earlier, because he does his little, development diary tomorrow, gave us another screenshot that I'm showing you now. The last thing Johan has to say is they'll also talk about factions characters can be in, what holdings are, and other character-related things in future development diaries, but next week they'll go into trade. So yeah, all in all, I really don't have much to say about this. It all sounds great. There's a lot of really interesting interactions that can happen here. I mean, somebody with a high martial skill, with a, cruel personality might end up really pissing off your country, or maybe they're also extremely charismatic, which allows them to gain loyalty from troops and create rebellions and stuff. All of this sounds great. This is exactly what I want to see. There's a system that is moderately deep. It's not a pond that's miles wide, but there's some depth here that can allow for some really interesting interactions that are going to be extremely different from game to game, and that's what I like to see. That's what makes Paradox games actually interesting to me, is that you can replay them and get different things happening every time, and it's a completely different game, much like a roguelite or something like that, That's what makes these games fun for me, so I'm really excited to see this character system in action. Of course, there are going to be a lot of different things that they haven't really talked about that we will have to get to later, but I like it. So in the screenshot here, there isn't a ton going on the map. Just some old placeholder stuff and things like that. You can look at the countries and see maybe you noticed something that wasn't there before or not. I haven't had a ton of time to look at this, so I didn't. But really what we're looking at here is Balhanid, the character that is governing the province of East Sicily here. And you can see it selected here, I believe, because we're playing as Carthage, and then that's East Sicily, I guess, and then this would be West Sicily. And where the divide is, I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, the guy's 35 years old, he's got 9 martial, 7 charisma, 3 finesse, and 5 zeal. So he's not, you know, particularly religious or anything like that. He's pretty bad at anything, you know, that basically has to deal with finesse. I don't think there's a better way to really explain that. But he's very charismatic and he has a high martial skill, which makes him kind of dangerous, right? If you piss him off too much, he might rebel and he might actually do well against you. He's got 0.16 gold stuff wealth. He's generous, forgiving, and arbitrary, which also... That's great, my phone just went off. Sorry about that, I forgot to put my phone on silent. But yeah, he's generous, forgiving, arbitrary, which means that he's probably not going to rebel, more than likely. Those seem like traits that wouldn't get people to rebel. But, you know, also on top of that, he has 74.8% loyalty, which is in the green. I would assume that that's a good thing. I would think, you know, between 33 and 66 is kind of like a gray area where you don't know whether or not they're going to be for or against you, and once you get outside of those ranges in the positive or negative, it will be positive or negative for your leader. Popularity is at 50.1%, whatever the hell that means. I mean, I'm assuming 100% popularity means everybody in the country likes him, in his governing province likes him. It's kind of hard to say. I kind of would say that the country level, but I don't know. I'm not sure. He's got 0% corruption, which means that he's not a bad person, I guess. He's a deity, even though he doesn't really care much for the gods. And prominence is 10.2%, which is in red. I have a feeling that this is just always red, but maybe 10.2 is a very big number. Who knows? Culture is Carthaginian. He's got a religion of Canaanite. Faction is he's part of the religious faction, which I think would include 8 members here. I'm not entirely sure, because the way that pops work and all that, 8 seems kind of small, but also maybe it's just because it's early in the game. The factions haven't really had a chance to develop yet, but it is what it is. Also, interestingly, it says that he's in Naxos, which, if I'm not mistaken, is in Greece. So characters don't need to be in the province that they're governing all the time, which makes sense. It works similarly to CK2. And then local revolt risk is +1. I don't know why. It must be a, what did they call it? Was it a trait, or was it a... Yeah, it must be a trait, right? You must have some sort of, like, trait that's creating revolt risk. So yeah, cool, interesting. I like it. It sounds like a good system. It's a great base for a good game, and I really don't have a ton of criticism here. We don't know enough to like really say whether or not any of this is going to be good or bad, but all in all, it looks like it'll be good. So I'm happy about that. Now, I thought that Paradox was going on vacation soon, but it looks like maybe they're gonna go on vacation after next week. I have no idea what's happening. But either way, it seems like there's gonna be a development diary next week, which is great. We'll do another dev diary then, and yeah. If you guys want to talk about this kind of stuff with me and more people that are like-minded, interested in the game, feel free to check out my Discord where, you know, basically we talk about Imperator Rome for the most part. We talk about some other things too, but, you know, it's mostly Imperator Rome at this point. And then, yeah, you know, do the stuff, the YouTube stuff, I guess. If you like the video or hate it or want to share it, or is there anything else you can do? I don't think there is. You can like it, or you can dislike it, or you can share it. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching. It's been fun, and I'll see you all later.